price of the prize. What exactly could I have sacrificed in my life? I mean, I'm barely 17, still depending on my parents' income, and here is how a day in my life usually looks like. At about 6 or 7 in the morning, I wake up, I get to school, get home, nap, shower, eat, study, sleep, and repeat. Sometimes I do hang out with my friends, but that's about it. The price of the prize. What is the prize? What is my prize? Throughout my life, I wanted to become a doctor, an investment banker, and, for the longest time, an actress. As I continued to grow, I realized that I wanted the financial freedom of an investment banker, the job stability of a doctor, and the fame of an actress. But as I reached high school, my goals got more simple. It was something that I could control. Maybe an A on my next exam, increase my attendance at the gym, and spend more time with my dog, Hikari. But on a very normal occasion, when I was avoiding my homework, as usual, it suddenly hit me. Every single hour, minute, and second, we make choices. You see, the price of the prize is not what we decide to sacrifice, but it's what we sacrifice when deciding. Throughout the century, women have fought for the right to vote, a choice. So many people are working towards to gain financial freedom. Or is it the freedom of choice gained with finance? You see, the definition of opportunity cost is the lost benefit of the next best alternative. Once again, the lost benefit of the second best alternative. It occurs because in life, there are unlimited needs, and wants, and there are only limited resources to satisfy those needs and wants. This then leads to scarcity, and thus, people have to make choices. This is why life is all about business. When I was sitting in my very first high school class, I met a very inspirational teacher, Mr. Chris. He asked me, why do some people spend over 2 hours to get ready before going out? Why do others drive the most luxurious cars when they can barely afford lunch? Well, it's called marketing. 2 years ago, I happened to be visiting Vietnam, my home country. Imagine you're in a burning hot sauna where everywhere you go, indoors and outdoors, there is hot, humid air that makes you consistently sweat to the point you have to get used to the sticky sensation that lives on the surface of your skin rent-free. You know how New York is the city that never sleeps? Paris is the city of love. Well, Hanoi, the capital of Vietnam, was the city of sweat. That was the perfect moment for me to fly myself to Phu Quoc, the city of beaches. Fancy, right? But the main means of transportation I could have accessed at that time was either by foot or by scooter. When you're learning to ride a scooter, you fail. How do I know? I also failed. Of course, that's how we learn. But with everyone around you, watching you, that failure can feel absolutely nerve-wracking. I almost died crashing into a bus. It's okay, don't worry. I also crashed into a few poles, a tree, or maybe two, and maybe a child. He's okay, don't worry. But I had a plan, a business plan, including the finances, marketing, and management, that would help me take the necessary risks in order to achieve my business objective. The skill of riding that pink scooter. The first step was to consider the finances by finding the lowest price but one of the highest quality scooters. FIY, the scooters, one though was equivalent to about 5,300 Vietnamese dong. The shops I generally found had the same quality scooters. However, one of the shops used their scooter for 370,000 Vietnamese dong a day, and the other one 35,000 Vietnamese dong an hour. If one day was equivalent to about 24 hours, I figured out that if I used the scooter, it will only be 15,000 Vietnamese dong an hour. However, as I will be using the scooter for a maximum of 8 hours, it could have been 46,000 or even more. If I'd been choosing the alternative option, I would have paid 280,000 a day. So calculating this beforehand saved me 90,000. But that's only if I would have spent 8 hours. You know what? Lots of numbers, right? Hope I didn't lose you. I lost me. As I was saying, the next step, marketing, would be to conduct the market research and identify the problem, which was the subconscious feeling of people looking at me. I mean, I can't make dozens of people go blind, can I? So, an alternative would be to find the human resources in order to alleviate my problem. So, I called my friend Mai, my human resource. Hi Mai, would you like to join me on this scooter ride? And she said yes, as she joined my very adventurous journey. The research was proven that market segmentation reduced the pressure that I felt, and the attention was divided between the both of us. But then, how would I motivate myself? I mean, Mai already knew how to ride the scooter. It was me who had to risk my life. I had to find myself an incentive. According to Taylor's theory of motivation, a fair day's pay for a fair day's work. This means that almost every single one of us is motivated by money. So I decided to give myself 100,000 Vietnamese dong to go shopping every time I completed a lap around the city. Exactly, that city. So I then proceeded to hold on to dear life and start the motor. In the first lap around the city, I crashed into a pole, got a massive bruise on my right ankle, and broke the kickstand. I couldn't bring myself to return the scooter in that condition. So I brought it to the closest repair shop and ended up paying 600,000 Vietnamese dong. 600 to only screw the kickstand back. I was obviously scammed. But why? Well, that, my friends, is what an inelastic demand does to you. Because I was so desperate, and the second closest repair shop was 4 kilometers away, to me, that repair shop had no competition. This then creates scarcity in my mind. 30 minutes in, 30, and I was already at a loss of 600 Vietnamese dong. How could I have the financial motivation after this? So, Taylor, I'm sorry, my guy, but your theory of motivation is no longer motivating me. What's even worse is that Mai started speeding up. I mean, I always knew she was the laissez-faire type of person, but my inexperienced self was not ready for what was about to happen. I felt the earth moving. But it was just me, almost crashing into a bus. Thankfully, I missed. But I managed to scare the life out of a young little lad as I hurtled towards him on the sidewalk. At this point, what worse could have happened? So I refused to give up. With every lap, I got better and better. Which brings me to my point. Economies of scale. The more you produce, so the more laps I drove, the less cost I had to pay riding each lap. Okay, Paris, you've told us about this fun trip you had, but how do I apply that to my own life? Well, that is precisely why I conducted market research and found out the top 3 problems that many of you might face in day-to-day life. Time management, health and wellness, and technology overload. Let's replace time management with resource management. Health and wellness with motivators, and technology overload. I disagree. You're actually loyal to the wrong goods and services. Much better. Let's address resource management. I know that many of you may struggle to balance the demands of schoolwork, personal goals, and relationships within the limited hours of the day. Let's break it into the 3 economic questions. What you sell, to whom you sell, and how you sell it. What you sell are your 3 main assets: money, time, and energy. To whom you sell is the activities you have to complete within the limited hours of the day. And how you sell. Let's say that you choose to go to sleep. When sleeping, you rest and you gain energy. However, you lose the opportunity of spending time with your loved ones. You could have been awake and you could have had the opportunity of making money during that sleep. My responsibility was to learn how to ride the scooter. Learning a new skill and bragging about it later made me happy and gave me energy. But I lost 600,000 Vietnamese dong in the first 30 minutes. 600,000 Vietnamese dong that I could have spent on buying a pretty purse. Notice how whenever you invest in something, you lose the opportunity of investing in the other. Sound familiar? Well, this is the perfect example of opportunity cost. The lost benefit of the next best alternative. Secondly, let's address the motivators. Maintaining a physical and mental well-being can be a daily struggle for many people. So, let me introduce to you Frederick Herzberg's 2-factor theory. It consists of hygiene factors and motivators. In theory, hygiene factors, your physical health, is what is needed for you to achieve a task. However, in practice, it's the motivators that will psychologically allow you to achieve a task effectively. It is the difference between having some sleep to prevent you from collapsing and having a full 9 hours sleep. The difference between having to deal with crashing into the sidewalk and slowly building the confidence to continue and having my say. It could have been worse. With your driving skills, you could have crashed in the actual bus. Yes, indeed. I had the necessary physical health required to continue riding the scooter. However, without my words of encouragement, would I really have succeeded? Last but not least, let's address loyalty. In today's digital age, we're constantly bombarded with emails, notifications, and social media updates. Here, we can easily apply the 4 P's of marketing: product, place, price, and promotion. As for product, let's say that we're addicted to our phones and have a screen time of about 12 hours a day. The place might be as we get home and we end up endlessly scrolling on our phone and slowly morph into a couch potato. This is where it gets interesting. How are the apps promoting their entertainment to us? Is it the super bright colors, videos instead of pictures, short-form content to overload information and prevent boredom? Doesn't it sound familiar to the experiences you can access in your real life? Why are we loyal to the products that try to replicate our own life? Well, I will leave that question to you. We come to the end of our journey today and to the beginning of your future. The price of the prize was not the 600,000 Vietnamese dong that I spent on learning how to ride a scooter. It was the other activities that I could have done with those 600,000 Vietnamese dong. Once again, think about opportunity cost. The cost of opportunity. The price of the prize is not what you decide to sacrifice, but what you sacrifice when deciding something. Finance, marketing, and management are also main business concepts. Thus, life revolves around business. Now, it's your time to decide like an entrepreneur and profit like a corporation. Thank you.